Today on the Happy House, presented by Creative Kid Stuff, learn about Free Bikes for Kids, an organization that helps kids one bike at a time. Watch Team Creative Kid Stuff take the plunge, the polar plunge for Special Olympics. Learn how this barn in Connecticut is being transformed into a building that will be the legacy of a very special little girl. Stay tuned. Hi, I'm Happy. I learned early on things are much easier with a little help. I also have a few tricks of my own to share. It's go time, people. Welcome to the Happy House, presented by Creative Kid Stuff. One of my favorite projects is Free Bikes for Kids. They distribute bikes to kids in need, and honestly, watching these kids get a bike is so joyful. It is such a gift because not only do they get to ride their bikes for pleasure, but often this is how older kids get to and from a job and to and from school. It's so important. Free Bikes for Kids is an organization that collects used bikes and refurbishes them to give them to children, teens, and even adults who would not otherwise be able to have a bike. I'm really excited to be passing this bike along because I remember all three of my boys riding it, and it makes me really happy that somebody is going to be able to continue using it. We are here today at the donation site at the Mall of America, where we will see 5,000 bikes come into this facility. As we estimate it, that means one bike will come through the doors every 6 seconds. The first truck has arrived. Let's see what kind of bikes are going to be unloaded. There's about 30 trucks that are going to be traveling the Twin Cities today, collecting bikes from various Alina clinics, and then the bikes will come here on a regular rotation. The volunteers are going to create an assembly line to transport all of the bikes into the facility, and then volunteers will begin assessing bikes immediately to start cleaning them up, determine what repairs need to be made, and getting these bikes ready for kids. This year's collection and distribution site is the Mall of America. They donated a huge amount of space that's currently under construction and also gave some funding to Free Bikes for Kids to set up their workshop. This whole area will become a workshop, and the volunteers will check everything, repair everything, make sure every single bike is in working order. Right now it's empty, but soon it's going to be full of very, very busy bike repairmen, cleaners, volunteers who just help in any way they can because they're very interested and passionate about getting bikes into the hands of kids who might not otherwise ever receive a bike.
One day I got a call, this was like early December, and they said, we know this family who's really struggling financially, they can't buy a Christmas present for their kid. Do you know one of your friends who would have a bike in their garage we could give to them? So I called 4 friends, all 4 of them had a bike. And I thought, does every garage have a bike in it that's not being used? So I called one of the local TV stations. I said, I want to come on and invite the public to donate bikes to us. We did, and in 2 weeks we got 250 bikes. We fixed them up. We gave them away to kids in need. And my friend said, that was fun, let's do it next year. And we did, and we gave away 750. And they said, that was fun, let's do it next year. We gave away 1,500. And now we've been giving away 5,000 bikes every year for the last 3 years.
Today is the big day. Free Bikes for Kids in Minnesota has gathered over 5,000 bikes, and they're going to be distributed to children and teens today. The crowd has already begun arriving. This is so great because in addition to just getting bikes, they're getting bikes that have been refurbished and are good as new. They've got experts on hand to determine what size bikes the kids need. Bill, what size is my ride? I think I want a coaster. There are helmets available, and then all of the bikes will go through one final tune-up before the kids roll out with them. Hey Fred, why do you volunteer for Free Bikes for Kids?
I just want to see kids be really happy with a new bike, and this is the epitome of happiness for a kid.
Everyone needs a bike.
Everyone needs 2 bikes.
Everyone,
maybe 3.
or 7, like
Or
you
7.
have. What are you going to do with your bike?
Me and my mentor, we're going to go bike riding, and we're going to have lots of fun.
That sounds like a great idea. I like to have lots of fun. Is this your mentor right here?
The resources provided by Free Bikes for Kids is certainly very helpful, and it really helps to further the mission of Boulder Options and making sure that the youth are active and set goals and able to participate together with one another out in the community. I thought that he was going to pick a pink bike with tassels.
Well, I mean, hey, what do you got against pink bikes with tassels?
Nothing. I thought that real men wear pink, so I thought it would be a really, really good color for your bike.
No. Hey, William, we just caught up with your brother over here. Why didn't you tell me you had a brother here?
I forgot to tell you, but
You forgot about your brother?
yeah.
Oh, hi. Are you Edward?
Yes.
Are you going to choose a bike today too?
Yeah.
This is so great. Okay, let's take these brothers to choose their bikes. You guys ready?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, let's go. William chose a bike and was fitted appropriately, and then came to the last stop, which is the final inspection of the bike. And one of the mechanics decided the chain wasn't quite right. So now we've got it up here, and they are doing a final tweak to make sure this is going to be a safe and sturdy ride for William.
It's a great volunteer experience. Our volunteers love it because they know they're actually doing something good. And giving a kid a bike is really easy thing to do. When you walk in and say, okay, why don't you register, we'll measure your height, we'll fit you for a helmet, we'll give you a goodie bag, and then you go pick a bike. I mean, it's just a wonderful, great experience, and it helps all.
What's so great about this, and I know we've talked about it before, but these bikes were just sitting in people's garages, just doing nothing, and now they're going to do something pretty great.
Absolutely. These were collecting dust, and now they're going to be collecting memories with kids.
What an amazing day. Watching all of these kids get bikes was a gift in itself. To learn more about Free Bikes for Kids, visit our website. Coming up next on the Happy House, watch Team Creative Kid Stuff take the plunge, the polar plunge for Special Olympics. I've taken the plunge 3 times for Special Olympics, the polar plunge. And being in Minnesota, jumping in the water in March is definitely a thrill, a chilling thrill. The Happy House is at the Minneapolis Polar Plunge today. There's so much going on here, and it's all to benefit Special Olympics.
Minneapolis Polar Plunge, are you ready?
There's going to be a 5K race. There's a costume contest. And the main event, people are jumping in the lake. Not the lake that we like to swim in the summertime, frozen Lake Calhoun.
Oh my God! 3, 2, 1. 1.
That is some crazy stuff. I will not be doing a belly flop into the cold lake. How many jumpers do you think you're going to have today?
We have over 4,500 registered for the whole weekend.
So can you tell me a little bit about the history of the polar plunge and how this whole thing got started? I just saw somebody in a bathing suit, and it is about 30 degrees here right now. That's crazy.
Lifesavers right there. We've been doing it in Minnesota for over 18 years, and basically we're raising funds for Special Olympics. So participants are raising $75 or more, and then we're cutting a hole in the lake, and people are paying to do that and raising a lot of money for it.
Well, for a really good cause, for Special Olympics.
Yeah.
What does the money raised go towards?
We're providing year-round sports training and competition for people with intellectual disabilities. We have over 8,000 Special Olympics athletes just in Minnesota, and tons more athletes that we want to reach. So it's all going towards that.
Can you tell me a little bit about your participation in Special Olympics and this event?
Well, I'm the coach of a team called the Flames, which consists of about 100 athletes. And Steven is one of the athletes on our team.
And also your son?
Also my son, yes. And this is his first year plunging.
Are you nervous about taking the plunge?
No, of course not.
You're not going to complain about the cold?
No.
Good.
Well, good luck with the plunge, and thank you so much for talking with me.
You are so welcome. I too. I thank you so much for talking to you.
And good luck to you, too.
Thank you.
3, 2, 1.
Welcome, Brian.
Well, thank you.
You just flew in from Seattle.
Yes, I did. I'm so excited to leave that 61 degrees and sunny weather to join you here in balmy Minneapolis.
This actually is balmy, FYI.
I know.
All right, so you agreed to take the polar plunge with us, and what prompted you to do that?
Well, it's for a great cause. I mean, how can you not do something that helps out kids that, if it's just a little immersion and it's cold water for a hot second, why not?
That's a great attitude. I mean, I also think that you're a part of a bigger organization called Greater Good, where there's a lot of charitable acts that go on there. So it's sort of the mission behind the company you work for.
True, yeah, without a doubt, the fact that, we try to do as much good as we can being the Greater Good. But, this one in particular is kind of part of my soul. I like to do something a little adventurous, and I have never done a polar plunge in Minneapolis in the wintertime, so why not?
That's a great attitude. All right, I will be plunging along with you, and it's getting close to the time. Are you nervous at all?
Mainly nervous about what it's going to be like once we're out of the water. I might end up as an ice sculpture or something here.
So today, I am on a team with Creative Kid Stuff that's going to take the plunge, and I'm a little nervous about it, but I think it's going to be really great. But if people can't participate in an event like this or they've missed it, how else can you help Special Olympics? What can people do?
Yeah, we have our competitions are year-round, so you can volunteer at a state or any competition that we have. You can volunteer at our fundraising events that we have, and they're all year-round, so there's always an opportunity to get involved.
So obviously financial donations, but service as well.
Yes, yep, absolutely. And you can always donate online to our website or our plunge site, so lots of ways.
Thank you so much, Megan. This event is really well done. People are having a great time and doing good, and that's what it's really all about.
Yeah, and good luck to you on your plunge.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming out. Thanks for plunging.
Get ass last! House, presented by Creative Kid Stuff. Learn how this barn in Connecticut is being transformed into a building that will be the legacy of a very special little girl. Visiting the Catherine Violet Hubbard Foundation and watching them rebuild a barn to make an animal sanctuary in honor of a little girl was one of the most moving experiences I have ever had. Catherine Violet Hubbard was a vivacious and kind little girl who fell victim to the Sandy Hook tragedy. Her love of animals and the world around her are the driving force behind the Catherine Violet Hubbard Foundation, whose mission is to celebrate the lives of all animals. Rescue Rebuild, a GreaterGood.org program, is working on a project to build the Catherine Violet Hubbard Animal Sanctuary, which will be a place that celebrates and supports animals while providing a beautiful resource to the community.
After Catherine died, she was one of the first graders at Sandy Hook. We decided that we wanted to honor her life. We weren't sure what that really looked like, but over the course of the past 3 years, it's evolved into what we think she would just love and adore.
She every day was really taking care of animals, even at her young age, whether it was at the bus stop trying to find a stray cat that was nearby, or releasing a caterpillar, you know, onto a tree branch that was too close to where the kids were playing.
What Jenny and Matt Hubbard really wanted to achieve is they felt that had Catherine continued on her mission, that she would have brought more people into the educational world of animal welfare and how to be good keepers of animals and good friends of animals. And so that's what they really want to preserve, is not only what her vision would have been for herself, but what she would have given back to the community. They're trying to give that back now.
What is the end game? What is this whole area going to become?
So there's going to be a community garden. There's also going to be educational programs. There's going to be a vet clinic. There's going to be an animal sanctuary. It really is a community animal welfare dream.
What was your first thought when you came here?
Kerosene, bulldozer.
Okay, perfect. Kerosene, bulldozer, that's all that's needed.
So phase one was just to basically get the barn back to being sound. There was tons of rot. The roof had failed. There was rot underneath the structure. So our plan, get it safe, get it watertight so that we can preserve it for the next phases.
It's such a great project.
So neat, right?
Second floor of the barn, which will eventually be used as an education center for children. I'm really excited about it because the bones of it are so great. It may not look like much right now, but a lot of work has gone into getting it to this point.
I want every single person in this country to volunteer. We have a really great statistic. If everybody between the ages of 15 and 60 gave 1 8-hour day of their year, that would be the equivalent of all 14,000 shelters in the United States having 65 full-time employees added to their roster. The power of volunteerism is immense. You don't need to be a skilled carpenter. Come lend your time, give your time, and that's what's going to change animal welfare in this country.
We have been just floored by the fact that everybody who touches this project, their hearts seem to connect with it, and Rescue Rebuild they saw it and they stuck with it. You know, it would have been understandable for them to be like, this is great, timing's wrong, call us when you're ready.
Right.
But Bryn has just stayed at the heart of it and brought Rescue Rebuild here to do something that is unfathomable. 2 weeks and we have a barn.
Can you tell me more about the butterflies and what that means for you and for Catherine?
My favorite just image of her is she would sit in this garden. She would have some sort of butterfly in her hand and she'd be talking to it. The message was always the same. She would send it off and she would just ask it to tell their friends that she was kind, because she knew that they would come back to her. And it's so, I mean, for us, we were never surprised because they would come back in droves.
Right.
And just her wisdom, you know, that's kind of where we center ourselves, that, you know, if we just accept people and beings and all the creatures for who they are and what they stand for, then we're honoring Catherine and the lessons that she taught us. My mother-in-law, we moved to a new house, and she had said that Catherine told her that there was going to be caterpillars on that tree.
Yeah.
She was like, you wait, there's going to be tons of caterpillars on this tree. And after Catherine died,
there they were.
Tons. So as people get involved with the foundation and they start doing projects like this or working on the property or attending programs, our hope is that they get a sense of Catherine and what she was all about.
Yes, that's a great story.
Yeah.
Thank you for talking with me.
Yeah, absolutely.
Good. So done.
To learn more about what the Catherine Violet Hubbard Foundation is doing and other Greater Good projects, visit our website. It's such an honor to be able to be part of these experiences and even contribute to them sometimes. This is why I love being part of the Happy House. I'm gonna drive this thing. Okay, how do I do it? I get to drive this thing. All right, do I want to drive? Yeah, how do I do it?
Take that thing and push it that way.
It's just like working a Wii U controller. Pushing it. This is no joke.